Hey everyone, I met Christopher Knox on a web forum for people who are living with HIV. Let me get the name of the website right this time. It's called myhivteam.com. Last time I got called out on it in my previous video. So anyway, today I'm very excited to talk to him about his HIV story. Here we go. Hey Christopher, I'm so excited to speak with you today. And you're going to share your HIV story with us, I understand. You told me you were diagnosed with HIV in December of 2016. Please share with us the time of exposure. And I think a lot of people want to know if you experienced any acute HIV symptoms.
Basically, it was just like headaches and a little bit of vomiting and dizziness and all that too. And then when I was diagnosed with HIV in December 2016, my original family doctor, when he gave me the results, he said, Christopher, you're HIV positive. And he told me, why are you not upset? Well, I told him, well, I'm gay, so I obviously knew I was going to get it sooner or later. But then I was in denial. Yeah, and I didn't want to go on any medication because basically I thought my life was over anyways. So I got onto medication in the spring of 2018. Oh, no, sorry, 2017. And
well, there's a 1 year span from diagnosis you did not. So did you have any medical issues between that year other than the acute HIV symptoms?
From December 2016 to like maybe late winter, early spring in 2017, I fell. Oh. And I hit my head on the pavement at work. And I was rushed to Soldiers Memorial Hospital in Aurelia. Wow. I woke up and my last ex, he was over by my side and he was in tears. And then the doctor asked me, do you want me to call anyone? Do you have like a parent or anyone else you want to call? And I'm like, well, I don't want to call my dad. So I called my godmother. She rushed to the hospital. She came back and she asked me, why are you in here? What happened, Christopher? I told her I am HIV positive. I burst into tears. Well, I had nowhere to go. And she said, well, you can come back with me and I'll let you. But then I decided to go on medication because Arch and Guelph, I found that support group. And they told me that HIV is no longer a death sentence.
That's right.
And that it is treatable. And I got on medication right away. And
which medication did you start with?
I start on Trimex.
Okay. And how long were you on that for? And you switched over?
About 6 months, because there's a lot of really bad side effects. Anger, depression, suicidal thoughts. Then I went on to a Death Sea. And it was okay. But now I'm on Genvoya, which the only side effects is dizziness and fatigue. But this comes up from both the olanzapine, but I was also diagnosed with bipolar. I was on Trimex to start with. Then I was on Odefsey.
Okay.
And then
these all one pill regimens?
Yes, they are.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Genvoya I'm on right now is like 4 medications in one.
That's right. I started with that.
Yeah.
It's actually 3 medications, and the 4th one is a booster to make the others work. Yeah. The Biktarvy has 3 without the booster. It's not needed. Anyone to say that there's no side effects of taking HIV meds, they may not notice it, but they're short or even long-term side effects. But I mean, I'm thankful we have this medication to keep us healthy and alive. Yeah. For the majority will live a normal life, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also want to touch past sexual partners after infection, between treatment or before diagnosis. Were you able to contact past partners that possibly could have been infected by HIV?
When I had actually my last relationship, the first one, I unknowingly infected him with HIV.
Right.
And that literally destroyed my life. I did love him, but it's just.
I can imagine the guilt you must have felt.
Yeah, I was in a lot of guilt. I was angry at myself. I was depressed. Like, why did this happen to him? Why did
but
it
you
happen
were not aware.
No, right? I was not aware that I had HIV until I got symptoms in mid 2016.
Right, and then you got diagnosis. It's not your fault. You didn't know.
No, it's not my fault.
Happens a lot.
Actually, believe it or not, Michael, this HIV inside me has made me a lot stronger. But the partner I'm with now, we're happily engaged to be married. Cause my last relationships, they were younger than him, and my fiance is older, and I told my husband,
That's wonderful. Love is love, man. Like, doesn't matter the age. You have that.
And in my last relationships, I had huge trust issues. And with my fiance, it's like those trust issues just completely vanished.
Yeah.
And I know he loves me. In my last relationship, I had to copy about them all too. Yeah. And he is HIV negative.
Okay.
And I heard if you're in a relationship with another HIV positive person,
right,
you can get reinfected.
With another HIV positive person?
Yes.
They could have a different strain of HIV, yeah. But if it's under controlled and undetectable, there's very little to no chance. It's like U equals U, undetectable equals untransmittable. Yeah, and it's a very important message, and I stress that in a lot of my videos. There's so much information out there today, even still, they don't know about HIV. And I have people at work and people around me asking me questions I can't believe they do not know the answers to about HIV. And that's where it leads us to social stigma and also with dating. Tell me how that affected after being diagnosed and you telling other potential partners that you were HIV positive, and have they ran away from you? Have they?
After my last relationship, I wasn't in any relationship at all. And the current one, my last relationship I met on Plenty of Fish. And meeting my recent one, I felt weird and different, meeting him in person.
Came across a quote from a man who actually deleted it today, and I don't know if it was YouTube or him, but I want to share this comment. I'm going to say it's a quote. I want your reaction to it, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So, I do not understand why HIV is still a problem. Why don't people want to use condoms? The best way to prevent this tragedy, but people continue to bear back and not use protection. And I am totally against PrEP. The drug is for lazy whores who don't want to put on a rubber. That is pretty mean and cruel. And sorry, I'm actually commenting on it. It's upsetting me.
But don't they know that U equals U and HIV has come a long way since the 80s and early 90s? Because back then it's complete death sentence, and now it's not.
Yeah, that's right. That's total ignorance what this man has commented. I wanted to reply back, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll let others maybe first. And then I looked today and it was gone. Maybe he was thought about it, and I think it was pretty he's part of the problem of the social stigma, thinking that way. It's nobody's fault. It's human nature to have sex. And I'm sorry, but using a condom every time, it's not going to happen. How old is this guy? He's saying rubbers. That's an ancient term for condoms, I think. Right. So
let's call it like a hat for your penis.
I know you had support later when you were in the hospital. Was there other people in your family, like brothers, sisters, parents, any cousins, anyone in the family that you could?
Well, and I didn't want to tell them at the same time. But my dad lost his wife to cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. You think you can take me down to visit my dad? And he said, sure. And came down, and my dad was like, why aren't you driving the car? What's wrong? So I went and I talked with just me and him at the time. So my stepmom was at work. And I told my dad, yeah. I'm like, well, I have some news I need to tell you. He's like, what's up? Is everything okay? I'm like, I don't know. So I sat him down at the kitchen table. I told him, well, Dad, I'm HIV positive. And he was like, what happened? And I said, I don't know. It's just, and then he got up. He went into his bedroom, and I heard him crying.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, Dad, know what's wrong? He says, I don't want to lose you, Christopher. I don't want to lose you. Well, I don't want to lose you too. And then since then, my dad and I have bonded more than ever before. I educated basically all my family about HIV and U equals U. That's no longer death sentence. And I told my dad that he was so relieved that he wasn't gonna lose his son because he lost his wife. He doesn't want to lose a son.
Right.
But ever since then, I've been taking good care of my health. Like I told my family, I love you all. I appreciate you, but you need to realize that my health is my number one priority, and they understood that. They still do to this day.
Absolutely. No, that's wonderful. And
like my fiance, I told my husband, I love you, but my health is my number one priority. Yeah.
It should be for anybody.
Sure. Yeah, it is.
Right. No, and that's part of loving yourself, taking care of yourself. That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad your family was educated after the fact of you telling them about HIV. Yeah. So they weren't really, they thought of back in the 80s when people were dying, like,
yeah,
we don't hear about HIV anymore that much, and it needs to be more brought in the forefront. Christopher, it was a pleasure talking to you. I thank you for taking your time out and sharing your HIV story. You have a good day. Okay,
you too, Michael.
Thank you.
See you later. Mwah. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye.
That was a nice first meeting with Christopher. At the end of our chat, he told me that he's inspired to make his own YouTube videos about his HIV and living with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell. For now, Michael K here. Take care, everyone.